Приветики всем, с вами Digital Du.
You're looking well, Syrah.
Мы тут а-ля второй акт игры начали.
Well, you have certainly risen through the rank. Good for you.
3 года прошло. И нам нужно поговорить со всеми нашими спутниками, видимо, собрать их опять в единую могучую кучку. И мне очень нравится, что есть задание с Себастьяном. Видимо,
Fine day, Syrah.
в этой вот первом кусочке игры он был недоступен. Но теперь-то
Fine day, Syrah.
все иначе.
We'll need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed. You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or two, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when eternity needs a nanny.
You had to know cleaning up this mess would be difficult.
It's not the challenge, it's the unending part. And really, I blame you. You poured money into a pot that was already full. Everything has shifted. Good job validating the fears of every anti-Ferelden and Kirkwall.
I didn't realize I was making it worse by getting ahead.
I'm just harassing you. Although you are a bit like the center of a hurricane. You've changed fortunes for many people, not always for the better.
Sounds like you're spreading yourself pretty thin.
There are a lot of people in my charge. Someone has to look out for them.
You guard the guardsmen.
I don't turn people loose like Jevon. There's additional training, doubled patrols. Costs are up, but I've halved injuries. I'll take it and argue with Seneschal Bran later.
After the last captain, you couldn't have expected this to be easy.
At least I had the guards on my side. Once they understood, they rallied. And those who didn't weren't fit to hold the crest. Stack friends against the enemies. I don't know if I came out ahead, but it's for the better.
The door is right there. I'll put you to work.
You've said that a few times. Bust heads for you and leave the paperwork behind. It has its appeal, but that's not really me, is it? Besides, I know what you get up to. A casual partnership is enough.
Fine day, Syrah.
How much longer do I have to wait?
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messere. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
I was called to the keep on important business, Bowden.
Yes, I was hoping to catch you before you arrived. There's a gentleman waiting at the mansion. He insists on seeing you. He says his name is Dougal. Your mother thought it wise, I tell you, Messere.
I paid Dougal years ago. Why would he be back now?
He wouldn't tell me, I'm afraid. He refused to come back another day, even after I told him repeatedly that I didn't know when you would return. He doesn't really seem like the most reputable sort, I'm afraid, even for a dwarf.
You ran all this way just to tell me I had a visitor.
I didn't want to presume what you might find important, Messere. before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
I didn't ask you to be my manservant, Bowden.
But I owe you a debt, and after what happened in the Deep Roads, I have no other way to repay you. I'll leave you to your business. Don't forget about your guest. Your mother claims he was eyeing the silverware.
Did you see a couple of children causing a racket here? No?
То, что тут за 3 года трупы никто не убрал, это, конечно, капец. Не могли немножко дизайн имения поменять, что ли? Ну, вообще жесть. Дыры тут заделать. Ну, типа, он 3 года вот так вот жил, да? Ну,
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Daenerys. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Daenerys killed him. Either way, if Daenerys is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Это, оказывается, не его особняк.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
I might be able to help with your problems. Or give you a few more.
More problems than you normally do, I assume. You're a beautiful woman, Hawke. Is there no one else who has your attention?
Do you see anyone else here?
I'm an escaped slave and an elf, living in a borrowed mansion. None of those things bother you.
And I'm an apostate refugee. Does that bother you?
You have me there. You raise an interesting point. I'll have to consider it.
Вот так вот. Вот так вот. Подумай, подумай. Подумай. 3 года уже думаешь, лошня.
Don't come running to me next time you pick up one of these diseases.
Isn't that the point of magic? I don't want to know.
Things just keep getting worse. I had Templars practically on my doorstep the other night.
Нужно спрятать ее понадежнее.
The Templars are hunting you.
Not me specifically. They were just checking the refugee camps. But it's not like this place is a secret. It's only a matter of time.
We haven't talked much recently. How have you been?
Good. I just love what Knight Commander Meredith's done with the place. The curfews, the midnight raids on mages' families. Everyone I know forced into hiding so they won't be made tranquil.
Is that making it harder for you? With justice?
In the Fade, there is no time. Emotion rules everything. Justice doesn't know how to sit idle until the right moment to strike. And I can't say I have any greater patience. I fear what my anger has made of my friend.
What's the worst that can happen? You turn into an abomination and start... Never mind. Bad joke.
My control is fraying. I cannot hold back justice, or whatever creature he has become, much longer. I have not attacked the Templars openly. I've helped the mages here as best I can, but this impasse cannot last. One day, everyone in Kirkwall will have to choose a side.
Я сдерживаю справедливость как могу.
Darkspawn is the real dark.
Have you heard from your brother? Is he happy? With the Templars, I mean.
Why trouble yourself over him?
I know how hard it is to give up everything and live among strangers. I worry about him. And not just for his sake.
Carver hates being happy. It interferes with his brooding.
The poor boy. I know he was angry when he left, but this wasn't your fault. One day he'll understand you were trying to protect him.
Maybe with time, he'll forgive me.
He loves you. He just doesn't show it very well. Things will be all right. Somehow.
It's like you haven't moved in 3 years. It's easier for people to find me this way. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes. That turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
Можно ее тоже романснуть.
And here I was hoping you'd forgotten.
If I learn anything new, you'll be the first to hear about it.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
No plans yet. I'm simply trying to look out for my mother.
I suppose after the whole business with Carver, it's a good idea to hang on to what you've got. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawk. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
There are still many refugees that need some flowers there, and some ribbon there. Donations.
Forgive me, Your Grace. I'm sorry.
Да бля! Где он? Как к нему попасть?
I thought it would end here. That young lady, Hawk, she decimated Flint Company. No survivors. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawk? We were just talking about you.
Saying good things, I hope.
Many people in Kirkwall have good things to say about you.
I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
Tell me about this family.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
Is there any peaceful way to resolve this?
If you treat the Harrimans like those mercenaries, you could start a war. Go carefully, Sebastian.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
If I'm standing beside you, that should make her think twice.
Again, your interest in my plight humbles me. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry.
Ура!
Let me know when you're ready to talk to Lady Harriman. I will pray for guidance.
I cannot fault Sebastian for wanting to know why an old ally would turn against his parents. But I fear he's too impetuous. He may do something he regrets. Please, go with him, try to restrain him. If the Harrimans are guilty, they will receive justice from the Viscount. Sebastian need not take their punishment into his own hands.
What is the Chantry's stance on the Qunari presence here?
Would it help anything for us to get involved? Or is it more likely to light the kindling? If the Qunari act against us, the Templars will defend Kirkwall. Otherwise, we guard ourselves best by waiting.
How long have you been Grand Cleric?
I became a lay sister here when I was only a girl. My parents died of fever, and I was taken in by the Chantry. Eventually, I took my vows. After I had served for some time, the revered mothers agreed that I should travel to Orlais. The Divine herself appointed me Grand Cleric of Kirkwall. That was near 30 years ago.
You knew my grandparents?
I dedicated your mother into the Chantry. She was a beautiful baby. Your grandmother was a very proper lady, but she was beside herself that day. And your mother put a fist in my eye.
I'd always welcome your benediction.
Andraste guide your steps in this difficult time.
Кайфы. Теперь у нас есть Себастьян. И это великолепно.
There are still many refugees.
Чё, кого возьмем? Карвер, видите, пока недоступен, но его не убрали полностью. Тусовочка.
That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard posted. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember. There is something very wrong in here.
Надо будет крутые штуки потом забрать для Себастьяна.
More, you lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be Molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, Monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Норм.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness.
Расширение имения. 2 дюжины твинтерцев. Грязь просто ужасная, очень шумно. Матушка ведет себя крайне странно.
I visited this house often as a child. They could not have concealed such goings-on.
Отец ведет себя странно, ущипнул пониже спины. Что на него нашло? Служанкам тоже достается.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken ass, you ignored us completely.
You shall not enter.
Demons, temptresses. We must see what greater evil they were protecting.
Не, ну мы, конечно, узнаем, но я хочу по дому пошариться. Может, тут еще какие вкусняшки есть? Ну, видимо, нет. Ничего, ладно, пойдем. Просим Ювелей. Вот, информашка была. Что происходит? Сначала отец, теперь Брэд. Я больше не могу с ними говорить. Не знаю, что они пьют, но тот и другой погружены в какие-то собственные миры. Матушки дела нет. Даже когда она здесь, все толкует о Старкхевене, да о том, чтобы выдать меня за того безмозглого дурачка Горана Вейля.
I'll pass.
Что там проститутка ждет кого-то? Норм.
A ruin, so close to Hightown. I remember no such thing. And the shadows, more of them.
Let's finish this!
Face me.
I suffer no threat. Get back!
Тоже музычка из первой части.
Now you fall. Go down.
Assistance would be appreciated. I appear to be stuck.
I don't want to do that.
How about you? Make it good. That's enough.
This is much more exciting than the
Let's finish this.
Starkhaven will not submit. I
I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
At the Blooming Rose, 50 silver's standard for a whore.
You'll hardly find my services standard.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian.
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished. But it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
I will hear no more from you.
You are not down! Get back!
Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul. Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul.
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it. Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
Don't blame your mother. The Desire Demon made this happen.
I doubt many people will be so forgiving. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you.